Hi everybody, this is Annette. Thank you so much for tuning in. If this is your first time in my channel, thank you so much for supporting my videos. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. There's a subscribe button on the bottom of this page and YouTube, and you can hit the ring bell besides the subscribe button to be notified of future videos. But if you are a subscriber, welcome back and thank you so much. Okay. Today we're talking about the Coiling Gizmo. I mentioned in a previous video that I had made some projects with my Coiling Gizmo. I did get a lot of messages and emails of subscribers saying, I've never seen that before. I don't know how to use it. Can you show it? Can you give us a tutorial? And here it goes. I'm going to show you first what it comes with the Coiling Gizmo. This Coiling Gizmo I've had for 11 years. It's old, but it has been used, well used and loved. So I'm going to show you the one I have, but there are other versions of it, and I'm going to tell you the differences between those and this one. Okay, so first of all, this is metal. It's really, really hard. It doesn't bend easily. And these are like little mandrels that come with. Mine come with two. And they have two perforations here on each side. And it's because these mandrels go in here. One goes for the smaller one and one is for the bigger one. Okay, so that's how it looks like when you purchase it. Now this particular piece, it should be stable and hooked up to a piece of wood. And that's how I did mine. I just took it off so I could show it to you easy here. But I'm going to show you how I use it and how I put it on my wooden mandrel. I actually took off my wood that I've had for 11 years. And I just kind of spray painted it, sanded it down a little bit. It looks kind of wonky, but it's a heavy piece of wood that I have. It's a 4x4, maybe, I don't know, 12 inches long. And I love it because anywhere I put it, it's heavy enough for me to work with it. But if you find yourself in a place where you do not have a piece of wood that big or any other type of surface that you can anchor this down to, I recommend you get yourself some clamps. And with a thin clamp that fits through this opening, you can clamp it to your table and that will work just fine. Okay, as long as you have it anchored down while you work. So it comes with a little screw. And this has been the same screw that I've used forever. And it comes with these two. Now, the difference between the newer ones is that the newer ones have up to 5 or 6 different holes here. They go to the very smallest and they go to the very widest and biggest one. And this piece is a little bit longer and the metal is different. I tried to purchase one. I purchased one and it broke. So I went and returned it because I wasn't satisfied with it. The metal wasn't, quite nice. This one, it still has the website here for where I purchased it, but it was so long ago, I have no clue if they are still in business. They might still be in business, but this is from www.artisticwire.com. Okay, so you might be able to find it there. You might be able to find the newer version, but this one has lasted me that long and I've never had an issue. So my other one, I returned it. So the difference is that they have different sizes for you to create that coil, which is great. But in my experience, this smaller hole and the bigger one, the smaller one and this one have worked for me for every project that I've made. I usually come out creating beads for bracelets, necklaces, earrings. It's just a perfect size. I think a bigger one would be for a different project for me, and maybe the smaller one you can use, but it's really for very dainty wire, something very delicate, and it's fine. But for me, this has worked just fine. So I'm going to show you a couple of things you can do with it, from the basic coiling to creating a bead with it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to subscribe, give it a thumbs up. Let's get to it. Okay, so I'm back here with 2 different wires that I use constantly. I use gauge 20, but you can use any wire you want because this doesn't necessarily tell you the size. You just use whatever wire you want. And I closed I zoomed in a little bit so you could see. And I'm going to be doing a couple of beads with these colors that I chosen. These are, let me put my glasses on. They are 606 beads, I believe. Yes, 60. but you can use 11/0, whatever size of bead you want. The smaller the bead, the dainty the bead that you're going to be creating, the bigger the bead, the bigger you're going to be creating your coiling bead, okay? So I'm going to zoom out again, and I'm going to show you how I install my Coiling Gizmo to my wood. And I'm not sure this is going to be the best angle ever, but this is a piece of wood I've been talking about. But it even has that hole there. And I'm just going to put this in here, just like that. And I have a screwdriver right here. You can nail this down however you want to do it. And I'm just screwing this to my piece of wood. Okay, just to have some stability. And I have a nail here, and I had a couple of other nails that I use for stringing different things. So I do that, and it's pretty stable, so this is not going anywhere. And then my Coiling Gizmo, I put these through here, as you can see, and this one over here. I usually do it from my right hand because I'm right-handed and it's easier for me to work with. I am going to move the camera on a different angle so you have somewhat of an idea of a close-up sideways so you can see what I'm doing at the same time, okay? So let's get to that. Okay, so you probably see half of me and half my little Coiling Gizmo. So let's do it. I'm going to be using the big one because it doesn't matter if you use the big one or the little one. This goes through this hole right here. Okay. And the action I'm going to be doing is this right here. Okay. To coil my wire. So let's get into doing that. The first thing you're going to do, and I think I'm going to have to move this a little bit higher. There you go. I think you see better there. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to wrap this around the actual little mandrel that it brings. And what I do is I like to just coil it in there, and possibly if I can push it through here. Let me grab some of my tools here. I'm just going to try to put it in here. There you go. Just to secure it in place. Okay. The other thing I'm going to be creating is, I'm going to be doing is pushing this all the way in. And then I'm going to start, I can let this spool of wire go down, and I can just hold it right here. It's just you want to give it some tension to start creating that coil. Okay, and you can start seeing how that starts creating a coil. Okay, and you can keep going, and I'm going to keep going for a little bit just because I'm going to show you a couple of things we're going to do with that. So you can keep doing that. Putting them all together. Keep going. If you see that it separates a little bit, push it in so it sits where you want it to sit. Push it in. I always keep pushing it in. You want a little bit of tension there while you do that. You don't want it separating too much. I'm going to make a long coil so I can show you how to create a bead with that. Okay, let's say that's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to pull it out. I'm going to move this aside for a second so I can show you what I'm going to do. So with this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my wire cutters, and I'm just going to cut right here. Let that go down, and I'm going to cut my wire over here. Okay, just to make sure I can pull this out. If I feel like this wire is not quite there, you can just cut it and make sure that everything is sitting properly there. Same with the other side. So after I've done this, this is a coiling that you can definitely use for different projects. It's very flexible. You can cut it and make spacers, and that's what I did with my bracelet. Let me show you what I did here. This is what I did. I put some coil in here, and this coil looks a little bit different because I use texturized wire. And let me show you what I did. I use this type of wire. See, it has some texture on it. This one doesn't. So you can use texture wire and do that and create these kinds of finishes. Okay, so that's what I did with that. So that seems to work really well. Now, if I wanted to create a bead with this, all I'm going to do is I'm going to grab wire, and I'm going to grab silver wire so you can see the difference of what I'm going to do, okay? I'm going to, first of all, if you see these little ends right here, you can just grab your round nose pliers and just put it in there. Just bend it a little bit and put it in there. That way it doesn't bother anything that you're doing or break anything that you're doing. Just a little bit in there, okay? There you go. I pushed it in, and that sits somewhat flat and straight, and it doesn't bother anything of your project that you're doing. Okay, so I'm going to grab this silver wire so you can see the difference, and I'm going to put it through here, okay? And again, I'm going to grab my Coiling Gizmo, and I have to check that I have this and you can see it. So give me just 1 second. I want to make sure that you're able to see what I want to do. Put it right here. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put, again, my little mandrel over here. Oops, I forgot to take this out. So let me remove that really quick. Just part of what you're going to be dealing with. Here we go. Just get it out of there. There we go. Okay, and then I'm going to wrap this again right here. Okay, you're going to push the coil you created there. Okay, let me see if you're on focus here and you can see what I'm doing. Yes, you can. I'm going to move the camera up a little bit. There you go. Okay, and what I first do is I start creating a small coil, which is the coil that I'm going to be showing while I, put my bead on my project. You can do 4 or 5 or 6 coils here, like that thickness, thinner, however you want. And then I'm going to start putting my coil, pushing my coil that I just created, and I'm going to start going around. Okay, it will grab at some point and you will start going around. Put a little bit of a tension there. Okay, guide it to wherever you want. Okay, there we go. And depending on how long you create this coil right here is how long your coil is going to be, or your bead is going to be. So I want it right there, and then I'm going to end with a couple more, another piece of coil at the end. Okay, and then once I have it right there, I'm just going to pull it out. I'm going to pull it out, and I'm going to cut it like we did before. I'm going to cut it right here somewhere, and I'm going to cut it over here on this other side because I want to pull it out. Okay, and then you have your piece that you're going to use. If you think this is too long, you can cut it. That's just, it's not going to hurt anything. Just cut it wherever you think you want that coil to be. There we go. And I'm going to cut this part over here. And here's your bead. This is the bead you will put through your project from one side to the other, and you have it finished here, and this is how it's going to look. The longer you make this coil initially, the longer this bead is going to get. So it's going to be longer or it's going to be shorter, however you want to create it, okay? And you can adjust it a little bit, close it a little bit, open it a little bit, however you want. But I think that's what I like, and that's what I put in my project. And just to finish it like before, you just tuck this little end inside, inside the bead in here. Okay, just tuck it in there, just like that. And same with the other side. Just tuck it in there as best as you can. I'm sorry, I know my fingers might be hiding it, but you just tuck it in there where you have it flat. Okay, and this could be a great bracelet that you create. You can create earrings with it this way. You can create part of a necklace with a tassel on it. You can do many things with this. So this is just a very simple and basic coil that you're going to create, okay? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my seed beads that I have right here, and I'm going to first create a coil using the beads, okay? So I'm going to put just a couple of beads in there so you can see. Me open this really quick and just I'm going to put them down here, and I'm going to create different colors of it. That way you have like a rainbow of them. Okay, so let me do that. I'm just going to put them right there, and I'm going to grab my wire and I'm just going to put them in there, just as many as you want to. Okay, so once I have them in there, I'm going to come right back. So I have put on my wire these 6/0 seed beads, and if you have smaller seed beads, remember you're going to use a smaller wire because then the beads are not going to go through it. And I didn't put many in here. You can put a lot of them and create your own design. Okay, so I have that there. I'm going to again put my my mandrel through here. Okay, I keep forgetting to remove this, but you can just remove it. And what I'm going to do, same as before, I'm going to wrap this around, okay? And I'm going to start, I don't think I did enough. Wrap this here. Should have done that first. Okay, so now that I have it there, I'm going to push it in, and I'm going to start creating my initial coil, you know, because you want a nice finish to your beads that you're going to be creating. And now that I have it there, what I do is I start pushing my glass beads in there. Now, the word here is glass beads. You're going to put a little bit of pressure, but you can't put too much pressure because you will break those beads. So you got to give it a little bit of room to start creating your design, okay? But you don't want any space in them either, so you kind of have to play with them. If you feel like they're not moving right, then you know, you do you, but usually this is how it would look. And this is just an idea and a sample for you, okay? Okay, I have a couple more beads in here. There you go. There you go. Gently put some pressure, but not quite a lot of pressure. Okay, and now that I have my last bead, just push it in there, and you're going to start creating your final coil. Okay, and now that I have that there, I'm going to pull it out. I'm going to cut it here. Let me move this aside again. And I'm going to cut it over here. And I'm going to push my bead out. And look at this. Look how beautiful that looks. If I were to create a longer one, I could even put this on a wire and coil what I've already coiled here. If I had smaller seed beads, I would do that, because that's another thing you can definitely do. Okay, I can close this in here like we did before. Same with the other side, because I want a nice finish to that. Okay. There we go. And that will be another design that you can create. So we've done these two, and of course the basic one. You can create different variations of it, of how you can use this. Remember, the thicker the wire, the bigger it's going to be, but the thinner the wire and the smaller the bead that you can create. You can create the tiniest coil and create the tiniest bead. It's all really up to you. So this is what we end up with, and you can create different projects with it. Again, this could be great for bracelets. It could be a pendant. It could be part of a necklace, part of an earring. These are just have great uses for them that you just, you know, you'll find numerous things to do with them. Just use your creativity and just be creative on it. Design your own, mix colors. Wires come in an array of colors and an array of sizes, and you can definitely do something super nice with them. It just makes your jewelry look refined and beautiful and unique because you made this. Okay, you guys, I really hope that you enjoy this video, and until next time, God bless.